Be confident, be bold, be authentic, but don't forget to take action. This is Ordinary to Badass, where our stories empower women to step into the spotlight of their own lives and pursue what they're truly passionate about. It's time to step into the arena and become more than just extraordinary. It's time to become a badass with your host, Marie Sonneman.
Welcome to Ordinary to Badass, episode number 154. In this episode, you're going to hear 3 reasons why Michelle Lauren Anderson is so badass. And there's a bonus little badass reason or badass tip. So stay tuned. Make sure you listen to that. If you didn't listen to the last episode, Michelle Lauren Anderson got burned. 91% of her body was burned at the age of 2 years old. And she shared so many good things, like how horseback riding was her passion and really helped her, how she overcame her limitations, and what to do when you get stuck. Lastly, she said what it really means to be strong. So if you didn't catch the last episode, go back and listen to it. If you're short on time, listen to this episode. If it sounds interesting, then make sure you go back and listen to Lauren's episode, or Michelle Lauren Anderson, sorry. With that, we'll get to the show. Welcome to Ordinary to Badass. Whether you're ordinary or badass, I'm so glad you're here. Today, we're going to talk about 3 reasons why Michelle Lauren Anderson is so badass. And there's going to be a little bonus that I just want to throw in there. So let's get to it, shall we? 3 reasons why Michelle Lauren Anderson is so badass is, first, she consistently shows up. 2, she focuses on the light. 3rd, she becomes an advocate. And as for the bonus, you're gonna have to hang out and listen to figure out what that is. And if you hear the pitter-patter of my dog's feet, I am sorry. For these bonus episodes or the badass episodes, I hate to kick him out of the room. So, alright, let's get to it. Michelle Lauren Anderson is so badass because she consistently shows up and works through her stuff. Here's the thing. She, at 2 years old, had 91% of her body burned. That is crazy. So she survived that, overcame that, wasn't a victim to it, like totally took on the challenge. But she didn't let that define her, right? She consistently has shown up throughout her life, and she has done the work. She's worked through the hard stuff, the stuff that we all want to give up on. Or better yet, like, she has more of a reason than a lot of us to give up. But forget that. She's a badass. She's going to persevere. She's going to keep doing the work. It might not always feel easy. But she keeps consistently, like, trying to figure it out, trying to learn. It sounds like she has a good support system, good family around her who helped her, like, encourage her, empower her. And so that's a reminder. When your kids have a setback, it's like, lift them up. Don't tell them all the things that they can't do. Don't have a pity party. Well, have a pity party for a minute. I'm not saying you can't, like, cry or be sad or feel the grief of whatever it is, but, like, lift them up, right? They could react based on how you react. But Michelle, she could have given up. She could have thrown in the towel. She could have said, you know what? This happened to me. This is BS. I'm not going to deal with this, or this is not my fault. Why the heck did this happen to me? And kind of been a victim throughout her whole life. But she has been the opposite of that. She has been a total badass. She's constantly, even now, even after how many years from the incident happening, it's like she's still pushing through boundaries. She talked about her PTSD from COVID and how it really triggered her seeing everybody with masks, because that reminded her of going to the hospital and getting a bunch of I cannot talk. Getting a bunch of surgeries. But she still pushed through that, or still figured out, let me get the help that I need, right? Sometimes strength is getting the help that you need. And Michelle Lauren Anderson even talked about that. Like, okay, I can't handle it all. Sometimes I need to go to a therapist or talk to family or talk to somebody who's been through it, find a mentor. So she continually works through it. She could have easily given up day one. So it's not even, I could easily say, oh, the reason she's badass because she was burned 91% of her body and she didn't let that define her. But it's more than that. It's like everything in her life, she consistently shows up for herself and is working through it rather than giving up. Man, in my life, there's so many things that I gave up on, like until the last couple of years, and I'm sure there's still some things that's not like not perfect, still have my flaws, still have my things I struggle with, but like for most of my life, if I failed, I gave up. Or I'd be like, that's because I was a failure, that's because I sucked, and I would go down that little rabbit hole. But to continuously show up for yourself throughout your life for different things, it's like, that's powerful. And even if you don't know it, that builds trust in yourself. It's like when you get through one hurdle. So at 2 years old, she gets through having 91% of her body burned. She gets through that, right? And she just keeps building trust with herself. Like, I can do this. I can do the hard things. So, yeah, while she may not have chosen to be burned, or while you may not have chosen to have the hard things in your life, they still happen. And there is nothing you can do to change them. After they've happened, they have happened. So then what now? What do you do going forward? Like, accepting what happened and that you cannot change it as much as you'd want to, whatever the situation, it's like you still have a life going forward. And man, I can relate to this on a deep level. Like, it is hard when trauma happens, when crazy things happen in your life that you just do not expect, or things that are like crippling. It's like, oh, like gut punch. How do you move past them? You do. You seek help. You can't always do it alone. So yeah, when you're down, when you're out, seek help. Go to a therapist. Go to a mentor. Go to somebody that can help you. Somebody who's been through it, right? So yeah, I thought that was super badass that Michelle Lauren Anderson consistently shows up for herself and works through her stuff. The second thing that's so badass about Michelle Lauren Anderson is she focuses on the light. She said some of her passions, she does those, like horseback riding. She said horses are definitely a passion of hers. And she tries to do small things every day that light her up. So she focuses on the light as opposed to focusing on the darkness. We all have darknesses in our life. We all have light in our life. And it's so easy, and I'm saying this from experience because I think sometimes I can be a negative Nelly. And it's so easy to focus on the dark. So I really have to like push myself to focus on the light. But like Michelle, she makes it a point to look at the small things every day, to focus on the light every day. She does stuff with her horses because that's her passion. That's what lights her up. So she focuses on those things instead of focusing on all the hard things. What are you doing? What are you doing in your life? Are you focusing on the dark? Or are you focusing on the light? I recently heard like a meditation to breathe in the dark and to blow out the light. Or I just jacked that up. Breathe in the light and blow out the dark. So you breathe in the light, blow out the dark, and that's a meditation that you can do. You can just sit there for a couple minutes and just like simply breathe in the light, take it all in, and then all of the dark things, all of the negative things, all of the bad things, you blow it out. So that's just a little meditation exercise you can try if that sounds interesting to you. I've really found it interesting. I've been doing that, breathing in the light, blowing out the dark, or breathing in the, like, receiving, getting stuff from other people, and blowing out the giving, like make sure that I'm giving stuff to other people. So it's both kind of a balance, giving and receiving. Same with light and dark. It's a balance. You got to work on it. But man, it can be hard to focus on the light, especially when you've had hard, challenging times. I think it's hard no matter what, because the human condition feeds towards drama, right? Or feeds towards negativity, towards darkness. That's just kind of more attractive or easier to talk about. It's easier to talk about all of our problems and all the crap that's happened to us in our lives. But it's hard sometimes to focus on the light. So I thought that was so badass that Michelle did that. I loved it. The third thing that I thought was so badass about Michelle Lauren Anderson is she became an advocate. She became an advocate for people who were burn victims or people who were struggling with different areas of their life or were considered to have disabilities. And she writes blog posts about like ableism. Are you able to do something? Are you disabled because you're a burn victim? These are questions that Michelle was asking, and they are so powerful. But she was an advocate for other people. Some of them, she could like feel their pain. She knew what they were going through. And then other people may not have been directly related. They might not be burn victims, but they might be disabled because of something they've gone through. And she's able to be an advocate for them. Sometimes being an advocate for somebody is so powerful. It can get you out of your head. Like the old saying, if you want to stop feeling sorry for yourself, help someone else. Right? We all think we have it bad, or at times it's like our life can be so hard and it's easy to become the victim or to get swallowed up in our circumstances. But what about you become an advocate? What about you advocate for other people who are going through hard things? Sometimes the best way to get out of hard times is by helping somebody else. To get out of your own head and do something for somebody else. And then you realize, oh, maybe my life isn't as bad as I thought it was. Maybe I'm not in such a hard situation like I thought it was. Somebody else has it worse than I do. So don't be afraid to stand up for somebody else, to be an advocate for somebody else. It could get you out of your own head. It could get you out of your own misery. So I love that about Michelle, is she's so badass and was, or not just was, but is an advocate for other people. I love it. Okay, now for the special bonus. Okay, I've never done this before on an episode, but I thought Michelle Lauren Anderson's mom was so badass. So I really got to mention it here because this is so inspiring. Her mom was a nurse, and then Michelle got burned. So her mom took it upon herself to become a nurse in the burn unit. So that way she could care for her daughter. She helped her daughter out in so many ways, but also prevented her from having to be in the hospital for so long. So often, we are shut down by the hardships. We are shut down by the obstacles. Like, it's too hard. There is nothing I can do. But her mom? Man, the tenacity, the badassery, like the gumption to just go for it. Like, I know if I get into the burn unit, then I can help my daughter. This can be of so much help. So again, Michelle, survivor, not victim. Her mom, survivor, not victim. Her mom could have been like, poor pitiful me, this crappy thing happened to my family, and just completely just like buried her sorrows. And I'm not blaming you if you do that. We have to do what we can do to survive or to get through. But I thought it was so freaking amazing that her mom took the step to become a nurse in the burn unit just so that she can care for her daughter. So when they were at home, Michelle didn't have to have special nurses because her mom knew how to change the bandages and her mom knew what to do. So that was so badass. Sometimes Ryan Holiday, he wrote a book, The Obstacle is the Way. Sometimes the thing that we think is the obstacle, the thing that we think is hard, might be our way through. I bet her mom became a hell of a burn unit nurse. Like, she was probably so good for the people in the burn unit because she knew firsthand what they were going through. And she didn't sit down and give up and say, forget this, I don't know. She took action. She did something that was like so powerful, so beneficial to her family. A lot of people would have given up or been like, there's nothing we can do, or she's just going to be in the hospital for most of her life. But sometimes it's like one small action can change the trajectory of your life, right? Or change the trajectory of your family lives. So don't be afraid to pivot. You might think you're in one career or doing one thing, but sometimes situations happen and you just pivot. That's what you do. So I thought that Michelle Lauren Anderson's mom was super badass for becoming a nurse in the burn unit and figuring all this stuff out. So great. I absolutely loved it. So just a quick recap. 3 reasons why Michelle Lauren Anderson is so badass is because she consistently shows up and works through her problems or works through her stuff. 2, she focuses on the light. 3, she became an advocate to help other people who are going through hard times. And then the 4th little bonus thing was about Michelle Lauren Anderson's mom being so badass for she was a nurse but switched to being a nurse in the burn unit so that she could care for her daughter. I absolutely love that. Okay, did you like Michelle Lauren Anderson's episode as much as I did? If you did, make sure to head on over to Instagram and let her know how you felt. Let her know what you learned from her or what your takeaways were. You can find her at mlauren8779 and make sure to take a screenshot of this episode, send it to mlauren8779 and me at Ordinary to Badass and tell us what your takeaways were or how it impacted you in your life. Man, I say this all the time, but it's so important. I can't say it enough. If any of these guests on the Ordinary to Badass podcast had an impact on you, reach out and tell them. It takes 2 seconds to tell them your takeaway, but it can make such an impact because Michelle was so stinking vulnerable, sharing her story, telling you what happened to her and how she got through it. So the least we can do is to say, hey, this is the impact it had on me, or this is what it made me think about, or you said this in a different way that really made an impact on me. So definitely reach out to us on Instagram. And with that, we'll end the show. To all the badass women out there staying in the arena, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, own it and get after it.
Now that you've listened to this episode of Ordinary to Badass, we want to hear from you. Go to our website, ordinarytobadass.com/podcast, and submit your own experience on how you took your life from ordinary to badass and get the chance to be on a future spotlight episode of the show. That's ordinarytobadass.com/podcast. While you're waiting for the next episode of the show, wipe off the sweat, dust off the dirt, and get back in the arena.